Okay, so I'm going to do my second recommendation video, and I want to start with historical fiction. They are kind of random. It's just what I have around here, books that I just absolutely love. I know I have more in the classroom, so when I clean out this summer, I'll probably find some more in there that I want to share with you. So the first one I want to start with is called Paper Wishes. I just read this book for the first time, and I love it. It follows a 10-year-old Monami, and she lives in Washington until her family is forced to move. It's about Japanese internment, and it gives a very personal story about her and her family and what it's like to live in one of these camps. It is pretty short. I read through it in a day, but just it really sticks with you. I love that they have some characters of teachers that are coming in to try to teach in the camps, and then it talks about a little bit of the people that don't support internment, and so you can kind of see how there's lots of different perspectives at that time period, but she and her family still end up in an internment camp, and it's organized. Each chapter is a month, and so you get to know the passing of time, and then also the experience of living in that camp in a very, very different climate than they're used to. So there we go. We have Paper Wishes. Another book that I know sometimes they read in 6th grade or in other classes is Number the Stars, and Lois Lowry does an amazing job talking about what World War II was like in Copenhagen, and I love that it's a different location, so you're getting to know a different culture as you're reading about it, and what you're willing to risk. So our main character has to decide if she's going to help relocate Jews that have escaped, or if she's not going to help, and it's a really just honest, moving story of a girl trying to decide what's right and what she's willing to risk. So just fantastic. I love this book so much. This book is set in World War II, and it's called The War That Saved My Life. It recently just had a sequel come out. I haven't read the sequel yet, but I have it on my bookshelf. And there is the main character, Ada. She's 10 years old, and she's living in London with her mother, and her mother is just really cruel and awful. And as the people in England are afraid that they will be bombed, they send their children to the countryside to hopefully protect them. And so Ada is living with a stranger, and she's starting to try to decide, is she the person that her mother constantly tells her that she is, or is she someone more? She has a limp, and so she's also trying to think about what does it mean to be different than other people. And so it's just a really loving story that you get to experience, set during World War II, but not part of the fighting. It's like her own experience with that. There's that. And then Echo has been in our Battle of the Books for a couple years, so I know that many of you have heard of it. I love it because fairy tales are always just so special to me, and anything that incorporates the feeling of a fairy tale. This one starts out with that, and then you get to time hop to different locations and experience different places and time periods, but also with the really easy to follow thread, so it's not confusing, because one thing, normally I don't like books that have time travel in them. I just feel like they tend to be kind of confusing, and I'm always wondering what's going on. But with this book, it's really well written, and Pam Munoz-Ryan just creates characters and worlds that are just fantastic. And so I would recommend this one. It is a beast to read, so definitely dedicate some time to it, but it is just wonderful. This book takes place during the American Revolution. It's called Sophias War, and I love it because she is a force to be reckoned with. She has to decide if she wants to be a spy or not. It's very action-packed. It's very high tension going through, and it's just wonderful. the quote on the back is, so she decides to stop the treachery herself, but she's alone, she's a girl, and she's running out of time. So this book is just a really fun romp through the American Revolution with a really great, powerful female lead. And Fever, written by Lori Halls Anderson. So right now I'm doing the read aloud of Chains. This is the same author that did this one. Oh, there's Miss Sophia in the background. She's just really neat because this takes place after the American Revolution, but you're going to be seeing the young republic starting to get its footing, and then illness breaks out, and it brings out the worst and the best in people. So you're going to get to see our main character trying to figure out what to do, how to take care of herself, how to take care of others, who she's going to be willing to take care of, and what it's like in a giant mess where there's illness everywhere and she's just trying to survive. So it is, I did cry. There are parts in it that are really hard, but it is really, really good. And I mean, if you like Chains, the one I'm reading, you're going to love this because it's the same author. Okay, and then the last one I have for historical fiction today, I just actually read this for the first time. It's called Stealing Freedom, and it's by Eliza Carbone. She wrote Blood on the River, Poison in the Colony, and this one is set much later than her other books, and it gives a very moving picture of what it's like to be an enslaved person, and you get to see these freedom fighters in their communities that they've built even while they are enslaved. You get to see the nuances of day-to-day life. You get to see the different perspectives of people, and it follows Anne Maria Weems as she tries to decide with her family if they are going to run to try to stay together, or if they are going to just hope for the best and stay where they are enslaved. I was really impressed with this book, and I love that she did, you can tell she did so much research to find all these details, because it just comes to life in here. So Stealing Freedom, I would definitely recommend that. So historical fiction is one of my favorite genres, so those are just a few, but I hope you enjoy those.